This is my student support system. Keep watching, keep learning.
The connective tissue cells, as the name suggests, they connect, bind, or support. They are widely separated from each other. Okay, the cells are not attached or tightly fit, they are widely separated, and the interstitial tissue, that interstitial material that is known as matrix, is more. There are usually fibers present in the matrix, which may be present in a semi-solid jelly-like consistency or dense or rigid, depending upon the position and function of tissue. Most types of connective tissue have good blood supply because a lot of blood vessels are there in between in the matrix. The major functions of connective tissue are binding and structural support, protection, transportation, and insulation. Connective tissue contains the cells which are largely, they are separated, they are not attached to each other and having matrix in between. And the cells are fibroblast, macrophages, fat cells, lymphocytes, and mast cells, which forms the connective tissue. Now, types of connective tissue. A lot of connective tissues are there in our body. Areolar connective tissue, adipose tissue, lymphoid tissue, fibrous tissue, elastic tissue, cartilage tissue, bone tissue, and blood tissue. Okay, so bone and blood, they are also connective tissue, but we will study them separately in the skeletal system and in the circulatory system. So in this we will continue to study these 6 connective tissue from areolar to cartilage. Areolar tissue, also known as loose connective tissue, they are found between the organs where it acts both to absorb the shocks and bind the tissue together. And the matrix is semi-solid with many fibroblasts and some fat cells known as adipocytes, mast cells and macrophages widely separated by elastic and collagen fibers. It is found in almost every part of the body, providing elasticity and tensile strength to the organs. Areolar tissue connects and supports the other tissue, and it is found under the skin, in the subcutaneous tissue, between the muscles, supporting the blood vessels and nerves, means around them, in the alimentary canal, in glands, supporting the secretory cells. So this is the picture of areolar tissue, where there are cells in between. These are the cells. Then fibers are there, and this is matrix. Okay, so cells are widely separated. Next is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue contains fat cells or adipocytes. Here you can see these are fat droplets, or known as fat cells. They contain a lot of fat. They contain large fat globule in the matrix of this tissue. There are two types of adipose tissue, white and brown. White adipose tissue is most abundant in our body. It can appear yellow sometimes due to presence of carotene and other pigments from plants that we eat. White fat contribute mostly to the lipid storage and can serve as insulation from cold temperature and mechanical injuries. White adipose tissue can be found protecting kidneys and cushioning the back of eyes. So the deposition of the fat in our body is of white adipose tissue. Brown adipose tissue. This is present in newborn. It has more extensive capillary network, a lot of blood vessels are there. When brown tissue is metabolized, it produces less energy but produce more heat than the white tissue, contributing to the maintenance of body temperature. In adults, it is present in small amount. Okay, it reduces as the age grows. Then lymphoid tissue. This tissue, also known as reticular tissue, has semi-solid matrix with fine branching reticulin fibers. It contains reticular cells and white blood cells that are monocyte and lymphocytes. Lymphoid tissue is found in lymph nodes and all organs of lymphatic system. Fibrous tissue. This tissue is made up of mainly closely packed bundles of collagen fibers with very little matrix. Fibrocytes, they are old and inactive and number is very less, and they are found lying in rows between the bundles of fibers. Fibrous tissue is very strong and it is found in forming the ligaments which bind bones together, as an outer covering of the bone called periosteum, as an outer protective covering of some organs like kidneys, lymph nodes and brain, forming muscle sheath that are also called as muscle fascia, and that extend beyond the muscle to become tendon finally, that attaches the muscle to the bone. So these tissues are made up of fibrous tissue. Elastic tissue. Elastic tissue is capable of considerable extension and recoil. There are few cells and the matrix consists of mainly masses of elastic fibers secreted by fibroblast. It is found in the organs where stretching or alteration of the shape is required, such as large blood vessels walls, in trachea and bronchi, and the lungs. Cartilage tissue. Cartilage is firmer than other connective tissues. The cells are called chondrocytes and are very less in number. They are embedded in the matrix, which is reinforced or given power by collagen and elastic fibers. Cartilage are of three types: hyaline cartilage, fibrocartilage, and elastic fibrocartilage. Hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage is smooth bluish white tissue. The chondrocytes are in small group with cell nests and the matrix is solid and smooth. Hyaline cartilage provides flexibility, support and smooth surface for the movement of joints. It is found on the ends of long bones which form the joints, and also from the costal cartilage which attaches the ribs to the sternum and forming the part of larynx, trachea and bronchi. Fibrocartilage. This consists of dense mass of white collagen fibers in the matrix similar to that of the hyaline cartilage with the cells widely dispersed. It is a rough, slightly flexible and supporting tissue found as pad between the bodies of vertebra. Okay, it means the disc is formed by fibrocartilage in the intervertebral disc between the articulating surface of the bones of knee joint. Okay, it is also found in the knee joint called semi-lunar cartilage made up of fibrocartilage, and the rim of body sockets of the hip joint and shoulder joint, deepening the cavity without restricting movement. Elastic fibrocartilage. This is a flexible tissue, consists of yellow elastic fibers in the solid matrix. The chondrocytes lie between the fibers. It provides support and maintains shape, and it is found in the pinna or lobe of the ear. This is epiglottis and part of tunica media of blood vessel wall.
My student support system. Keep watching, keep learning.